Hey everyone, I wanted to share with you guys something a little bit different than what I usually share on my channel. I wanted to show you guys some vintage cookbooks that I've come across, and this first book that I have here is a crockpot cooking book from the year 1975 by the Rival Manufacturing Company. So I really like using crock pots from time to time, especially on days that I know are going to be really busy. So as you can see here, there's the table of contents. There's anything and everything that you can imagine that you can make in a crock pot is apparently in this book. So I'm showing here the beef, pork, and lamb section. There is flank steak teriyaki, the English beef pot pie, a bachelor stew, which seems quite interesting, a brunch casserole, I want to make that, and also that working girl's favorite. That looks really good, and just a bunch of really cool and wild recipes. I feel like there's going to be some winners and most likely some losers in here too. So there's a chicken lickin' recipe. That sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really enjoying some of these recipe names. But yeah. In the future, I would like to share some of these recipes with you guys. If you think that's something that you're interested in, please let me know, because that kind of gives me feedback as to what content I should make. Although I think I'll still make this content regardless, but yeah, I think that there are so many cool recipes in this book. And there's even bread recipes, like white bread, health bread, lemon tea bread, a fruit nut dessert, and then there's like the index, and as you can see, this book was well loved by its previous owner. And then the next book I have here is A Feast of Scotland by Janet Warren, and from the little sticker in the front, looks like it was originally sold in Europe, and somehow it ended up in a thrift store not too far from me, so that's pretty cool. I think that this book would be really good for someone who's trying to maybe do like some kind of Renaissance party or something like that. But yeah, this book was published in 1979, and then I think this is a reprint of it. But I think the font that they used was really cool, and as you can see, there's a helpful list of names that are used in this book that are not too familiar here in America, so that's really cool. And there's also, I noticed in each section, there's like a little history tidbit before it goes on into recipes. So we have a Scottish cheddar cheese soup, which sounds kind of interesting. Cod with mustard sauce. There are, I don't know what clapshot is, I've never had that before. But that one sounds like fun. And then sticky gingerbread. Food for kings, apparently. So, if you eat this food. I don't know what I'm saying, but anyway. Yeah, there are a couple of dessert dishes that I had seen in here that kind of interested me. But yeah, I noticed they use a lot of like, apples, oranges, and some other desserts, and a lot of cream. Then we have the summer pudding, a Melba sauce, which sounds kind of interesting, and more history. I just really got to sit down and read through this book to really get the full gist of it. This is just a quick kind of browse. And yeah, it's something I think I'm going to have fun with, although I'm not sure about gathering some of the ingredients. I feel like it might be a little bit interesting to find these ingredients, but nonetheless, I think it'll be fun for a future project. And then next we have the original Fannie Farmer 1896 cookbook by the Boston Cooking School. So this book is really cool because I found it at a local thrift shop, and the condition is amazing. This book, it looks like somebody never opened it. It was just even okay, yeah, you can see that the copyright's 1896, but this edition was republished in 1996. But yeah, the bookmark in this book like is in its original spot, and it's crazy how nobody has opened this particular book. But there's multiple chapters in this book, and it really goes in depth, like step by step, like breads and meats and vegetables and just a whole slew of different recipes. And yeah, as you can see, there's recipes for milk toast and steamed clams, which I actually like clams, so buttered lobster and bechamel sauce and turnips, mashed turnip, chicken croquettes, and chocolate charlotte. Sounds good. And yeah, there's this pastry section. There's a whole section also for cake fillings and frostings, which interests me because I feel like frostings is something I don't have too much experience in. And there's like whole menus here if you're unsure of how to put together a dinner, then they have little menus there. There's the glossary for different terms. And then also, this is from when the Boston Cooking School was originally holding their classes. And it kind of goes course by course. Then there's the index. And the really cool thing about this book are all of the vintage ads that are at the end. I love the font. I love all the graphics. I mean, look at that. Cake frosting made with Frostline. Cake frosting made in a minute. That's really cool. And I'm just so happy to have found this. Stickney and Pour Spice Co. Pure and wholesome coconut butter. Interesting. And I love this one. For some reason, I love vintage bottles that used to have like jam or jelly in it. I love it. But yeah, this book is a gem, and I'm so happy that I found it at my local shop. Next, we have the Better Homes and Gardens Dessert Cookbook, and this one says it has over 400 recipes, so that's really cool. And I just absolutely love the graphics that are on the back here. And this book has definitely seen some things. It's definitely seen some things. Like the pages are browning and some pages are ripping a little bit, but that's okay. It's what adds to its charm. And it was published in 1960, so I really like cookbooks from that era. Anything that's like 1970s and prior, I really like. But yeah, there's a table of contents there, and it says come to a fruit festival. Magic with cake mix. Interesting. And I just think that these desserts all just look so delectable. And here we have a spice layer cake. It has cinnamon, cloves, brown sugar. I love things with cinnamon, so I feel like that one would be really good to make. And here we have chiffon cakes and angel sponge cakes. And then there's cake decorating tips, which I'm probably terrible at. And then also how to make a lattice pie. And then favorite fruit pies. And then we have here the red cherry pie, which looks beautiful. And then also a chocolate chiffon pie. I want to make that one for sure. And a whole range of puddings. And then we have cookies and candies. And then we also have fruit fix-ups. And chili desserts, a snap. So mainly things with ice cream. And more ice cream. But yeah, I'm noticing a definite theme here. There's a lot of fruit involved in these recipes, which isn't a bad thing. I love fruit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my vintage cookbook haul. I hope you guys enjoyed.